Despite long-standing disagreements, the United States is hopeful of working with China to tackle climate change. The U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, John Kerry, is on a visit to Abu Dhabi, Dhaka and New Delhi until April 9th. Now, while in the UAE capital Abu Dhabi, Kerry said that I and the U.S. President Biden have made it clear that none of the other issues we have with China is held hostage to or is engaged in a trade for what we need to do on climate. Kerry added that climate change is an issue that all countries share, and that the US is not trying to tell anybody what to do when tackling the issue. As part of efforts to narrow differences on climate change goals, to slow down global warming, nations needed to transition in a way that makes sense.
We're here to try to talk through a problem we all share and find a common way to address that, recognizing that countries just can't shut down any more than we did in COVID. You can't shut down. You've got to continue to try to provide a revenue base, keep your people employed, have stability. So you've got to transition in a way that makes sense.
Kerry will take part in a climate dialogue for the Middle East and North Africa hosted by Abu Dhabi. The dialogue would focus on national and regional preparations ahead of a United Nations climate summit to be held in Glasgow in November. The leaders of the three countries, that is the UAE, India and Bangladesh, are among the 40 invited to a two-day virtual meeting starting on April 22nd. The summit is meant to mark the US's return to the front lines of the climate crisis fight, after former President Donald Trump disengaged from the process. The Paris Agreement left countries in charge of making their own promises and taking their own measurements of emission reductions. But it is still requiring them of regularly revising their nationally determined contribution. The agreement's goal is to limit the increase in global temperatures by the end of the century to around 1.5 degrees Celsius. China has pledged to become carbon neutral by the year 2060, while President Joe Biden's administration is expected to announce a new target for reducing emissions at a global climate summit on April 22nd. The world's biggest economy, the US, is the second largest emitter of greenhouse gases. At the April 22nd summit, the US is expected to make some ambitious new commitments to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions under the terms of the Paris Climate Accord soon. It will also encourage other countries to boost their own goals. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.